In today's video, we're going to delve into the fascinating world of Anne Frank, exploring some of the controversies surrounding her life story. Before we begin, subscribe to help us grow our channel. Few names resonate through the corridors of 20th century history quite like that of Anne Frank, a young girl with a vibrant spirit, and penned what would become one of the most powerful and heartbreaking testimonies of life under Nazi persecution. Her diary, written while in hiding in the cramped quarters of a secret annex in Amsterdam, has since become a literary cornerstone and a solemn reminder of the horrors of the Holocaust. Yet, for all its reverence and widespread acceptance, the diary of Anne Frank has also drawn shadows of controversy. Whispers, accusations, and fervent debates have accompanied her legacy, casting doubt, demanding scrutiny, and at times, questioning the very authenticity of her words. These controversies range from claims of forgery to disputes over censorship and commercialization. Beneath the surface of this universally admired story lies a complex web of mysteries and arguments that continue to ignite curiosity and, in some cases, suspicion. One of the earliest and most persistent controversies revolves around the authenticity of Anne's diary. For decades, conspiracy theorists and Holocaust deniers have clung to the notion that Anne did not write the diary herself. Some even allege that her father, Otto Frank, constructed the diary as a post-war fabrication, meant to elicit sympathy or serve as propaganda. These claims found traction among fringe groups, fueling their denial of the Holocaust and its atrocities. Otto Frank did indeed play a role in editing his daughter's writings. After retrieving Anne's papers from their hiding place following the war, he discovered multiple versions of her diary, and had begun revising her entries with the hope that they might one day be published. In bringing the diary to light, Otto merged elements from the original and revised versions, omitting certain personal passages and reordering entries to form a coherent narrative. While these editorial decisions were transparent and well documented, they opened the door for critics to argue that the published diary did not fully reflect Anne's original voice. Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. Despite these claims, extensive forensic investigations have confirmed the diary's authenticity. The most comprehensive of these studies, conducted by the Netherlands Institute for War Documentation, examined the ink, paper, and handwriting of the manuscript. Their findings left little room for doubt. The materials were consistent with those available in the 1940s, and the handwriting matched known samples from Anne. Furthermore, none of the primary entries were written with a ballpoint pen, a device which has become a focal point of another oft-repeated myth. The so-called ballpoint pen controversy gained momentum when skeptics claimed that parts of the diary were written with ink that did not exist during Anne's lifetime. Ballpoint pens were not widely available until the 1950s, so their presence in a document dated during the early 1940s would be highly suspicious. However, this claim was quickly debunked. It was discovered that a few editorial notes and annotations, added by someone other than Anne after the war, were made in ballpoint pen. These notes were peripheral and did not appear in Anne's original writings. Yet, the myth endures, often resurrected by those eager to challenge the diary's credibility. Then there are the editorial decisions made by Otto Frank, decisions that have sparked their own set of controversies. Among the passages he initially chose to exclude were those that dealt with Anne's budding sexuality, her physical development, and her sometimes painful reflections on her family, particularly her mother. Otto's choices were likely influenced by the cultural sensitivities of the post-war era and a father's desire to protect the dignity and memory of his young daughter. In more recent years, these previously omitted passages have been restored in new, unabridged editions of the diary. These editions reveal a fuller, more complex portrait of an intelligent, curious, emotionally raw, and deeply introspective. Some readers found this restored version more powerful, while others were surprised to learn how much of Anne's inner world had been kept from them. These revelations have reignited debates about the extent to which any historical document should be edited, even with the best of intentions. The controversies do not end with questions of authenticity or editorial discretion. Anne Frank's diary has also been the target of censorship in modern classrooms. In the United States and elsewhere, the diary has been challenged or banned in schools for a variety of reasons. Some educators and parents object to its candid discussions of puberty and sexuality. Others find the depiction of same-sex attraction or criticism of parental figures too provocative for younger audiences. A few even argue that the book's harrowing portrayal of life under Nazi occupation is too dark or distressing for students. Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. This censorship strikes many as tragically ironic. Anne Frank's diary was never intended to comfort or conform to societal norms. It was a raw, unfiltered expression of a young girl enduring unthinkable hardship. To suppress her words is to diminish the very truth she sought to preserve. Moreover, shielding students from the realities of history does little to prepare them for the complexities of the present or future. Beyond the confines of the classroom, another cloud hangs over the legacy of Anne Frank, the commercialization of her story. The Anne Frank house in Amsterdam draws millions of visitors each year. Her face appears on posters, t-shirts, and bookshelves around the world. Films, plays, and novels inspired by her diary continue to reach new audiences. But with this wide-reaching exposure comes a difficult question: where is the line between remembrance and commodification? Some critics argue that Anne Frank has become less of a historical figure and more of a brand. They worry that her tragic story is being packaged and sold, stripped of its historical gravity in favor of marketability. Others maintain that public interest, even if commercial in nature, helps keep her memory alive and introduces new generations to the lessons of the Holocaust. Still, the tension between honoring Anne's legacy and profiting from it is a source of discomfort for many. Perhaps the most curious controversy came when Anne Frank's diary was poised to enter the public domain in Europe in 2016. Under standard copyright law, a work enters the public domain 70 years after the author's death. However, the Anne Frank Fonds, the Swiss foundation that holds the rights to the diary, announced that Otto Frank should be considered a co-author. They argued that his editorial contributions were significant enough to merit this designation, thereby extending copyright protections for another 50 years. The announcement was met with skepticism. Critics accused the foundation of attempting to maintain financial control over the diary. Legal experts debated whether Otto's edits constituted authorship or merely curatorial effort. The move stirred legal battles and philosophical questions about authorship, memory, and moral responsibility. In the end, what do all these controversies tell us? They reveal that Anne Frank's diary is not just a relic of the past, but a living, breathing document that continues to evoke strong emotions and complex debates. The questions raised about authenticity, censorship, and commercialization are not just about a single book. They are about how we choose to remember history, how we protect truth, and how we pass on legacy. Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. Anne Frank, in her short life, became a witness to one of humanity's darkest chapters. But in death, her story has become a beacon, albeit one shrouded in intrigue. The controversies may never fully fade, and perhaps that's for the best. Because with each new question, we are invited to look deeper not only into Anne's life, but into our own capacity for truth, empathy, and remembrance. The diary remains. The pages are still turned, the words still read, the voice still heard. And in that quiet, intimate place between ink and soul, the mystery of Anne Frank endures, whispering to each new generation who dares to listen. Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. If you found it thought-provoking, subscribe for more hidden truths and historical mysteries. Like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious, and thanks for watching.